let us talk about the captain. There is one thing that I love about the captain, and that is that not only is he a captain in name, but also in gameplay. Everything that surrounds this character, everything that surrounds Gran, it's going to be based on being a kind of a support character. But not only, like, there's support characters, like Catalina, for example. She has some offensive skills, but most of everything in Catalina is going to be focused on defending the rest of the crew, on giving you defense, giving you invincibility, giving you stuff to be able to stand against powerful foes. The captain, it's just that. He's a captain. So remember that every character has a very own staple, a very own signature, something personal that makes them be what they are. In this case scenario, the captain is going to have arts. These arts are going to improve and increase the efficacy of all of the skills that you are going to have. And this is going to be based on combos. So you perform combos, and then on the combos that you perform, you're going to get higher levels of arts. As you improve the higher levels of arts, those are going to increase the effectiveness of your skills. So here's a list of the combos that he has. He has combo A, B, C, and D, and essentially this is just going to be the same thing. If you do the X, Y, Y, or square, triangle, depending on the platform controller that you're using, you're going to increase your arts level. Then you have the combo B, that's for X, X, Y, Y, and then combo C. You can also do the combos, you can also perform a air combo. And also you can use the power raise. The power raise, basically you charge up Y or triangle, and that is going to charge more arts level. You have 4 levels of arts level. Whenever you charge those 4 levels of arts level, well, that is going to be the one that is going to increase the efficacy of your attacks all the more. So that is basically how he works. That is the bones of the captain. Improving the efficacy of the skills that you are going to use while performing combos. The more combos that you perform, the more efficient that your skills will be. But there's also some combos that you can perform with your skills, and that is what we're going to be talking about. Because all of the skills of the captain are going to be increased by the amount of combos that you have, the amount of arts that you have built up until that moment where you're going to use your skills. But remember that not only does the basic everything of a character is that the characters also are envisioned by their skills. Most of their skills are going to have something that is going to define them. The captain is going to increase the DPS quite substantially, quite amazingly, quite absurdly for the entire crew. Not only for yourself, like many other characters like lone wolfers, like Rakan, for example. Rakan focuses a little bit more on increasing his DPS as much as possible. The captain is going to increase the DPS and the survivability and the defense of the entire crew as much as possible. That is what is going to envision the captain. Many of the combos, many of the attacks that you're going to have with the captain, they are going to have to be called out. If you're a main captain, you're playing with your friends, you're playing multiplayer, you have a means of communicating yourself, you should always be communicating when you are the captain, because every time that you're going to do something, everyone should be aware that you're about to do that something, because it is going to increase everyone's DPS by quite a lot, and it is going to cause tremendous amounts of damage, especially if you have a high DPS on your crew, and they need that specific certain time to unleash all of their combos, all of the more powerful attacks. If you're a proper captain, you're calling out your attacks, everything is going to be so much smoother for you. So let me give you an example of that. Let's talk about the skills. We're not going to cover every single skill. I'm going to show you some of the later skills for the captain, but this will give you an idea of how you should be using the captain to maximize the DPS of the entirety of the roster, the entirety of your crew, the entirety of your friends. We have Armor Break. Armor Break is an excellent skill that you would be using to close the distance with the enemy. But also, it's going to decrease the defense of an enemy. That defense and the duration that the defense, the debuff is inflicted upon that enemy, this is especially useful against bosses, is going to increase based on the arts level. If you have a arts level 4, this is just going to be all the better. Like, quite literally, it's going to be all the better. Then we have Decimate. Decimate is going to be the basic DPS skill that Gran is going to have. So this is something that you would combo once you have used the arts level. Something that I didn't mention and that I do want to mention, and that I think that it is very important now that we're talking about the skills, is that the arts, some characters use their build-up, their meter build-up for one specific skill. That meter build-up for the arts level for Gran, that is going to be depleted in time, not by skill. Meaning that you can cast 4 skills, and all of them, if you cast them all together, you wait for them to be all on the cooldown, and you cast them at the same time while you have a level 4 arts, that is going to potentialize and increase the effectiveness of all of the skills that you are casting at the same time. Meaning, for example, we have Rage right here. Rage is going to increase the attack by 15% of the entire party, and 30%, which is double if you have a arts level 4. And also the duration of this thing is going to be increased by quite a lot if you cast it with a level 4. So one very good combo, before I actually tell you about that combo, you also have the healing spell. And as you can see, everything about Gran is keeping everyone alive, increasing everyone's damage, debuffing the enemy for everyone to take advantage of that. And that is a very cool combo that I wanted to tell you about, and as a matter of fact, I'll show you on a screen right now. Take a look at how fast the health bar of the enemy goes down because I'm performing that combo. Have in mind that at that time I was using the AI companions. If you use the combo that I'm about to give you right now, and you have your friends with you, you're playing with people, and you call it out, and let's say that you're using a limit break or a burst, or you manage to, I do not know, play intelligently, and this could quite literally obliterate, nuclear, and laser the health bar of the enemies because of how powerful Gran is. He's never going to be the MVP. That's I'm so very sorry to say that. It's very difficult for Gran to deal DPS on his own. It's very difficult for him to outstand and outshine everyone else. But the thing is that he's humble. That's what he is. He's the captain. He's always there to improve everyone else's capabilities of dealing damage. So the combo that I was telling you about, let's say that you have built a arts meter of level 4. Immediately you cast Rage. You increase your attack by 30%. Everyone else's attack by 30%, and then you cast immediately Armor Break. Once you cast that immediately Armor Break, you're going to lower the defense of the enemy by 25%, meaning that you're multiplying the damage that the enemy is taking quite a lot by, let's say, I do not know how do they stack and how do they accumulate between themselves, but for pure being simple, plain and simple, let's say that the enemy is going to be taking like 55% more damage. 55% more damage, that's a huge amount of damage. And the one that you would have, for example, once you have managed to pull that off, since you have already debuffed the enemy, you have already buffed your crew, now you want to deal DPS alongside with your members, so you can use skills like Decimate, or the rest of the skills that Gran has for dealing damage, like Regin Leaf, or the Rain of Arrows. That is basically how this is going to work. As you can see, Gran is always focused on making everyone deal the most damage possible, keeping everyone alive, keeping everyone performing at their 110%. That is what the captain is for, and that is why I advise for someone to be maining the captain at all times and to always keep a captain on the crew at all times, because he's going to increase how fast do you finish up with the enemies. And you will see that with the later on skills that you are going to acquire with the captain, it is going to be the very same thing. It is going to be something very similar right here. They are going to change quite a bit. But you do have some offensive skills later on, like the Overdrive Surge, which is going to deal a high amount of stun, and it's also going to deal more damage and stun based on the odds level, so that's nice. But let's say, for example, the first attack that we were discussing about with the captain, it was the very first one that he has that decreases the defense of the enemy, which is Armor Break. This is excellent against fighting bosses. But remember that we also have hordes and survivals and all kind of those crazy stages. So one thing that you can be using with the captain is the Miserable Mist. The Miserable Mist is going to do the very same thing. It's going to inflict minus attack and minus defense, providing survivability for the crew, providing more damage, more DPS for the crew, and the strength and duration of this is going to be based on the odds level. So briefly, the captain Gran always need to be performing combos for it to be then finally using skills that are going to then potentialize the rest of the crew, the rest of the party. That is how he works, and I love him because of that. Everyone should always be maining a captain in your crew. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, join the Discord since I'm going to be playing with you guys right down the Discord, and if no one's told you today you're a gorgeous and beautiful person, you're indeed a gorgeous and beautiful, beautiful person. I will be seeing you goddamn gorgeous and beautiful people in the next one. Have a lovely, lovely day, and goodbye.